Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Rupa and Company Limited Q1 FY22 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode. There will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Dinesh Lodha. Thank you and over to you, sir.
Thank you. So hello and good afternoon everyone. First and foremost, I hope you all are keeping safe and healthy during this time. So Q1 22 has started with a positive note despite the second wave of COVID affecting business. Revenue has grown 4%, EBITDA by 16% and PAT by 32%. And this was possible due to improved operating efficiency as well as some of the cost reduction. We faced certain disruption in distribution of product since many outlets were shut. And also at a plant level, we have seen some disruption in particularly Tirupur and Bangalore, which has impacted a little bit on the top line number, but most of the order has been placed, moved to Q2. The second wave COVID-19 adversely affected the economy in this tough time, where our priority is clearly shifted to take care of people on ground who are working really with us on challenging time. The company organized vaccination camps at the factories for employees and also their families. We also worked along with our partners in terms of vaccination program. We extended the health insurance program to all our employees. With the quality and durability, Rupa and sub-brands are integrated across the entire hosiery value chain. The company enjoy top in the recalls across all the segment, have earned a trust of millions across the globe. Our products are accepted among all our consumers in line with evolving customer preference and market demand. The company introduced new variety in each sub-brands. This quarter, we have introduced new brands called Frontline Colors. This is inspired by nature, 10 colors, new drawer range, which has really seen a very good demand across the country. Our focus on expansion in weak markets started yielding result. In fact, Q2, we are expecting growth of 50% from this focus state, which we have mentioned earlier, which is our growth engine. Our company export in products for 20 countries and aim to strengthen its presence in existing market and introduce localized product. In fact, the Q1 we have witnessed 125% growth in the export business, and we are expecting a similar growth in Q2. As you know, we are looking to double our export number this year. The company is planning to scale up high margin revenue business, include the brand like FCUK, Fruits and Loom and M Series. The vision is to occupy the consumer mindscape in the category where the aspiration Indian consumer can show off his style, quality and disciplined taste. Our aim is to make innerwear, premium innerwear based on comfort accessible to the customers. The company is also reinforcing high growth segment, the athleisure, women wear and thermal wear. In fact, we have the way things are on the thermal wear, we are expecting a very good growth this year, more than 25%, and that will start showing up results from the Q2 onward. On the e-commerce and modern trade, we have witnessed again a almost double the business from last year in terms of Q1. Overall, this year we are expecting 60 to 70% growth on modern trade. That is led by e-commerce, where our presence is across all the e-commerce sites, and also EBOs, where we have right now about 11 to 13. We are expecting that to become 40 to 50 EBOs by this year end. But the major contribution has happening through the e-commerce side. The company working capital, we are looking to improve. This quarter, the working capital has, because we have invested in the inventory because of thermal, as well as looking to a challenging situation. We want to keep some inventory higher, but overall, we want to reduce working capital this year as committed to 140 to 145 days. And on a long term, we want to make it less than 110 days. We are expecting solid growth. Thermal, as I said, we are expecting a 25% growth. We are also seeing a solid growth in other segments on outerwear and all, which is going to yield the result over a period of time. Coming to financials, revenue of Q1 Finance 22 stood at 218 crore versus 210 crore, registering a 4% growth. The growth is witnessed that would have been much higher, not faced by certain disruption in distribution of our product. due to COVID-related situation. In fact, we have lost about 15 crore because of the material availability, particularly in Tirupur and Bangalore. But now things are smooth, and we are expecting some of the shortfall which happened to move into quarter 2 number. EBITDA has been growth at 16%, which is stood at 42 crore as compared to 36 crore in quarter 1 last year. Our EBITDA margin for the quarter stood at 19.3% against 17.3%. PAT, which is stood at 27 crore against 20 crore of last year, growth about 32%. Quarter 2 is looking very upbeat. We feel that quarter 2 we should be growing at 18 to 20% plus. Thermal will be again a big contribution out of that. So with that, we'll now open the floor for questions and answers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Anyone who has a question at this time may press star 1 on your phone. We have the first question from the line of Shalini Gupta from Ashika Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
I'm sorry, ma'am, you're unable to hear you clearly.
Not able to hear. Please, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I just wanted to ask you, like, what is the kind of you had given some kind of guidance as to what kind of top line growth you are expecting for financial year 22. Do you? Is there any change? Have you upped it or what?
No, we are very much what we have on commitment earlier, which is 15% plus growth. We are expecting about 15 to 16% growth this year, and that is what we feel it will be. Quarter 2 will be much higher, but overall we will be at 15-16% growth.
Okay, and sir, what is your EBITDA margin guidance? Because what
we have said earlier also that we will be between 18 to 19%, and I think that's what we will be hitting, and there is no change in that.
Okay. So, sir, why I'm asking is because you had given a guidance that your economy segment will grow the fastest at around 40%. So given that the margins in the economy segment are lower than the rest of the portfolio, will this be the reason for lower EBITDA margins or the fact that you'll be spending more on advertising? What will be the reason for lower EBITDA margins?
We have not given any guidance like that as far as 40% is concerned on the economy segment. We will be seeing across all the segment growth, and what we will be seeing more growth in our top 6 strategy, which I shared earlier. I think we will be clearly seeing a solid growth on our premium segment. We will be seeing a solid growth on our thermal. We will be going to seeing a good growth on athleisure and women wear. All these 4 are our growth engine. I think economy will be growing little lesser than the normal growth. Or if it is growing at companies growing at 15-16, economy will be growing lower actually. So that's the way it will be. As far as EBITDA is concerned, that is driven by 2 factors. One is advertisement, as you rightly said. Our advertisement cost will go up this year, and also we will have employee cost going up. But the growth and the efficiency both will be nullified some of the effect, and that's why we will be at 18 to between 19%.
Okay. And sir, if you can just can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so can you please give a sense of 2 things? One is like the how the various segments are performed, like economy during the quarter.
So we have
economy,
seen,
mid-premium, thermal.
We have seen some of the disruption in some segment, but overall the growth is there on the mid-premium. We have grown very nicely this quarter. We have also grown, as I said earlier, on the segment-wise, the modern trade and export has grown pretty much. What we have seen some challenge in terms of some of the product coming from Tirupur, particularly some of the product on outerwear, we have seen some challenge in Tirupur as well as in Bangalore. But overall, the growth is muted, as you see in the number on the quarter. But some of the order which has not been able to execute because of the supply chain disruption will be coming in the next quarter, and that's why we're expecting next quarter growth 18-20% minimum.
18-20, you said 50, I thought.
Voice is breaking.
Okay, 1 second. Sir, is it 18 or 20 in Q2? You said 50. Did you not?
18 to 20%. I said always.
Oh, 18 to 20. Sir, if you can please share some.
What I have said 15 to 16 yearly number. So there is a difference what you are saying.
That's what. So quarter 2 is 50%.
Quarter 2, 18 to 20%, ma'am. And on a yearly basis, we are looking to grow 15 to 16%.
Oh, okay. So I heard that wrong. Sir, if you can please help with some numbers as to how it's been. See, actually, fourth quarter was a very strong quarter. So all of us are looking at fourth quarter plus quarter 1. So I mean, I'm not particularly perturbed with the slow growth in the quarter. But if you can please help with some numbers as to how the various segments have performed.
So I said our overall the economy segment is sort of flat. The mid premium has shown a growth 10%. The premium segment is also sort of flat plus this quarter. But overall, we have the high margin product mix is higher this quarter, and that has also improved the margin percentage.
Yeah. So I mean, how has athleisure grown during the quarter?
It's sort of flat this year. In fact, we have some challenges. I said that product come from Tirupur. So we have order actually, which actually if we execute, it will be 8 to 10% growth. But we have not able to execute some of the order which has flown to quarter 2 because of supply chain disruption in Tirupur.
Okay. And sir, my one or two last questions. Your ad expenses guidance for the year is 7%?
6% is what we have given the guidance, and 6.2, and that's the percentage it will be in the year.
Okay. And sir, your outlook on raw materials, because cotton prices have been moving across the this everything has. Okay. So my last question was with respect to raw materials. So raw material prices have been moving up, and everybody has passed them on. So I mean, if you could just give a sense of where you think raw material prices are. I mean, your sense of raw material prices, price trends going forward.
We feel that price will stabilize in going forward, and whatever price rise is there, actually all of the companies are evaluating right now. There may be further rise in prices right now in the product, and we may increase our price in next coming months or weeks actually.
Yeah. And lastly, sir, volume.
What we are seeing right now, it will stabilize at this point.
Okay.
Please return.
Yeah, just one last question. The volume growth for the quarter.
It is very similar actually, or 1 or 2% lesser actually.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, if you have a question, you may press star and 1 on your phone. The next question is from the line of Saurav Ginodia from Smiths Limited. Please go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, sir. Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity. Sir, in the current quarter, we have witnessed a very sharp improvement in the gross margins to 38.8% compared to 33% in the same quarter last year and 35.7% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. So just wanted to get some understanding on this gross margin improvement. What percentage of it would be coming from price increase, and any color if you can share from the product mix also?
So I think the price increase will be, the price is about 3% is impact on the price, and the mix is happening, helping us 2%. From last year, it is 2%, almost 1.5, I will say, the price and the mix. I think we are seeing more, high margin products, goods sold. As I said, within the economy also, the West is giving us more margin. The West, product has been, growth is much higher than the draws. So this depend on the within the segment, the product mix is better. So to your question, 3% is because of the price rise and 2% because of mix. From last year, we're on 2% and 1%.
Okay. And sir, industry has been continuously taking price increases from the last year. So what is your expectation on the gross margin side? Do you expect further improvement in the gross margin, or you expect the current quarter's gross margin to be sustainable going forward?
In the year, we feel that gross margin should be improving 1.5%, not more than that, because this quarter is where the mix is much better from the product point of view. So we are expecting our gross margin improve 1.5%, which is what we have said earlier.
Okay. And sir, you indicated that we are planning for a 15 to 16% of a top line growth in this year. So just wanted to get some understanding, is the industry growing at that rate, or is this kind of a growth rate coming from share gain from the peer companies, or there is some supply chain challenge with the unorganized player from which we are planning to take some market share?
A mix of all. And we have talked about earlier our 6 engine which we are working on, and they have started yielding some of the results already. And this quarter we will seeing that impact happening. But yeah, it's a mix of both. Some share gain and also some of the organized sector will moving towards unorganized to organized. But overall, the industry, we feel that it will be growing at 10 to 12%, and we should be growing at 15 to 16%.
Okay. And sir, in the opening comments you indicated there was some supply chain and production challenge in Tirupur and Bangalore. Generally in Q1, the industry gets ready for manufacturing of the thermal wear products.
That's right.
So was there any challenge in the production?
Thermal, we are very well placed. In fact, we are geared up to solid demand, solid result this quarter and quarter 3. So we don't have any challenge there.
Okay.
It is in Calcutta basically. So thermal is more in Calcutta.
Okay. And sir, as per your best estimate, if you can help us with some figure regarding any production loss for the quarter because of these challenges.
We lost about 10 to 11, 12 this quarter. It is range between 10 to 15 crore actually, where we lost because of the production. But most of the orders has been flown to quarter 2, which we should be supplying.
Okay. And sir, my last question would be with respect to the margins for the licensee brand, which is FCUK and FOTL. Sir, if you can guide us with some margin outlook for these two licensee brands.
So this year we have said this will be growing at 25 to 30%, and we are still on the same. Though we have some disruption in quarter 1 because of the April and May, and this is more a retail-based product. But on a yearly basis, our outlook does not change. We still feel that we will be achieving 25 to 30% growth in both these brands. Most important, I think, will be profitable. We are looking to EBITDA positive this year, plus very near to PAT positive from a big turnaround from the huge losses earlier. And that is where we are focusing. We are not focusing just to grow the business, but grow profitable.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for all your elaborate answers, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dhiral Shah from Phillip Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. So what was the sales loss during the quarter? You talked about the production loss of 10 to 15 crore. What was the sales loss?
So not the production, basically sale loss because of this linked, right? So we have order in hand, but we could not execute. Those order about 10 to 15 crore has moved to quarter 2.
Okay. And so you are talking about almost 25% growth in the thermal category, and thermal being a seasonal nature. So are we doing something different in that category particularly, or
we have multiple product launch? New addition has been done in the thermal wear this year, and that will help us further to grow the business. Actually, in fact, you see last 2 years we are growing 20% plus. This year we are talking 25% plus, which is not very high actually. We are expecting much higher, but we feel 25% is definitely happen.
Okay, and sir, any new product launches in any of the category?
We have launched a new product in a frontline group where we have launched a new drawer which is inspired by nature, which has 10 colors with a very high quality fabric. It's doing very well right now, and we feel that will going to be a good product in terms of contribution to our overall business. We are also launched a couple of products on a thermal wear, so that will launch immediately.
Okay, and sir, and you also talked about cost reduction measure that you are implementing. So if you can elaborate in detail, what are that measures that you are talking about, sir?
So those are the continuous effort, whether it is in the production cost in terms of getting efficiency there, on the in efficiency on the employee side. So those are there on a continuous basis, which is helping us and yielding result last year also and this year also.
Okay. And sir, on the export side, what is our focus, sir? And what are our targets for next few years?
What we are targeting, we feel this will be 20-80% this year, though the internal target is higher, but 60-70% definitely will grow this year from last year. And we are seeing a growth in Middle East. We are seeing a growth in African country. There are two big segment, area where we are seeing a solid growth.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. That's it from my side.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, anyone who has a question at this time may press star and one on your phone. The next question is from the line of Bharat Kinani from Money Control Pro. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, first question is that the industry had seen a very sharp increase in the raw material prices from like October to November last year. So I just wanted to know what is the kind of price hike you have taken over the last 3 to 4 months? Because if I see the overall revenue growth has been 4%, but we were expecting a slightly higher growth, because our assumption was that the company might have taken a huge price increases in the last 3 or 4 months. So basically, we are expecting Q1 the price hike would have been high. So so in that context, actually the price hike of just 1 or 2% on a YY basis, when you're saying that the product mix has also improved. So we were expecting a kind of a higher growth because of the price hike. So if you can just elaborate what is the kind of price hike you have taken over the last 3 to 4 months on the raw material side, and what is the price hike that you are planning to take over the next few months? Thank you.
So on the next few months, I think it's all depend on the price hike in terms of increase happening. But we expect the price rise to go up further. One price rise expecting any time soon, maybe a week or two. But we are not sure. It's all about how the industry work together. But overall, from last year, we have price hike of 7 to 8%. But it is also a mixed play, because if you have more sale of a drawer and even you get a volume, but your mix will play there. So that's why we have a 2 to 3% mix, the price rise, the volume versus the value play, 2 to 3%. But overall price rise is 7% to 7 to 8% from last year. And we will be seeing mix play further in terms of revenue in that way. So that will help us further to grow the volume.
Actually, sir, just a follow-up on that, because if we see the revenue growth was like 4%, and you in your earlier response have indicated that the volume growth has been like 1 or 2%, and the price increase is like 1 or 2%. So if you have taken 7 to 8% price hike with respect to the YOY, then is there an adverse mix from Q1 FY20 to Q1 FY21? Because if you have taken 7 to 8% price hike, and if the volume growth is like 2%, so overall on the top line we should expect at least 10 to 12% kind of a growth. So I'm just wondering.
So the point is, like, take example, West growth is much higher than the drawer growth, and West has a lower revenue per unit, but the margin is higher. So it has a positive impact on the margin, but on the negative impact on the volume growth. And that is what the quarter has been seen.
Okay. Got it, sir. Got your point, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. All the best.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, anyone who has a question at this time may press star and one on your phone. The next question is from the line of MS Rajashekar, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. I just wanted to ask one question. We have shown a 4% growth over the last Q1 FY21, whereas the other competitors who are based out of Calcutta have shown about 30% growth. So I was just wondering whether have we lost any market share, or whether were we not able to cater to the market? What is the reason for this low growth?
So I think you need to see the data as you're evaluating. Last year, quarter one, we are the only company who has grown. Last year, most of the company has a degrowth of 15-20%, and some of the company has degrown 30% plus. So if you see the 19-20 number, which is a good base to see, I think we are grown at par or better than competition. But having said that, as I said, our yearly, we have already projected last quarter when we talked about this quarter, we said subdued quarter. In fact, we have projected only 195 crore, but I think we end up at 218 crore. So we go, so the way it is more to do with what happened to last year, the same quarter, where the competition has a huge degrowth, where we have grown actually. And that's why this number is reflecting like that. So you can have that evaluation done.
Okay, because your Q4 was an excellent quarter, and so the market was also expecting a good quarter this year.
Numbers are at par. Numbers are in line of what we have committed. We have very clearly projected quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, and we are online. Actually, in fact, we have delivered a little better than what we have committed earlier into the quarter one number. And quarter two, we are committing 18-20% plus, and that will happen. Yearly, what we are talking about 15-16%, we clearly have a good visibility there, and we will be hitting those numbers.
Yes, sir. My second question is a broad-based question. You were investing on the IT infrastructure, which is very, very essential for an operation or a business like this. So can I have some details, where have we gone, where have we progressed on this?
So we have, in fact, the AFS, which is one of the most advanced system on SAP. We are working with right now PwC to implement that. We will be expecting that implementation happening by December or Jan. I think that will give us a huge focus in terms of how the whole operation works in terms of management of inventory and also management of forecasting, as well as the CRM tools. So that implementation is ongoing, which is the AFS, which is the top end right now. Currently, nobody has in the industry. And that investment is already done, and we are expecting that implementation completed by January.
Okay, sir. And regarding the premium segment, we are one of the very few companies which have got a tie-up with FC UK as well as Fruit and Loom. So are we expecting about 40% growth in this segment in future?
Absolutely. We are looking to 30% growth this year. And as I said earlier, I think the important factor for us is to make sure that we have a profitable growth. As you have seen in the past, we have a loss of 26 crore in a year 18-19, and from there we have turned around the business to a profitable path. So we have taken some of the call in terms of strategy, where to focus and which is the segment where we should be making it profitable. Now the good news is last year we are almost at EBITDA positive, and this year looking to PAT positive, if not minimum EBITDA positive plus very near to PAT positive. So now the good thing is it is growing, but growing profitable, and we will be expecting 30% growth this year.
Excellent, sir. My last question is on basically when you are expanding, you have to take care, or we have to take care of the human resources also. So what is the front on that? How are we recruiting talent from the industry? What is the focus?
We have a major recruitment that happened in last 6 months' time. We have a new HR leader, we have a new IT leader, we have a new modern trade. So there are a lot of addition at a regional level. We have added general managers and regional manager. So there is the focus state, which is the top growth areas for us. We have recruited multiple people, both at leadership level and at the sales team level, and that is something we will going to continue building. The human resource, as I rightly said, is the biggest asset for the company, and we will definitely invest a lot there.
Yeah, you're right. If you have the right people, the company also grows well. That's right, sir. My last but one question is just on a strategic point of view. Today, last year you closed at about 1,300 crores. In about 5 years' time, what is our vision for the company? I just wanted a qualitative answer.
I always have a lot of love for organic growth. I mean, without organic growth, we are looking to company to grow at 17 to 20% range in next 5 to 7 years' time. And our strategy, what we talked about, the 6 pillars, those strategies are there for next 7-8 years. All has a huge potential to grow, and we continue to grow on that line in organic growth. And along with that, we're also looking to inorganic growth as and when we see a good opportunity in organic growth, So your company will grow at that line.
Excellent, sir. Last question, sir. On terms of advertisement, it is going to be more on print media or on the TV now?
So TV continue to be there, but our focus has big shifted into social media. As you know, mobile is the new TV. Everybody on the mobile, on the young generation. So we are going to spend a lot on the social media, but TV continue to play a big role because of how things work in our industry. So TV will going to play, but we are focusing a lot on in-shop marketing. We are focusing a lot in terms of retail meets, and along with that, social media is going to be big.
Thank you so much, sir. All the best. We are with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants, if you have a question, you may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Amit Jain from Samsung Asset. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for taking my question. So just wanted to get a sense in terms of when you're guiding for a 15 to 16% yearly growth. This year you're obviously benefiting from a higher price increase. I think you mentioned somewhere in the region of 8 to 10%. So are you guiding volume growth to be far lower, which will pick up as you see maybe a couple of years later? I mean, why is the growth not higher this year because of price?
Also, but overall, I think 7 to 8% price rise, and I just said earlier, but that happened from last year, September, October. So those already there is factoring last year. So we expect this year to grow at volume will be 12 to 13% and value will be at 15 to 16%. That's the way we see it.
Right. And when prices not immediately, but just to understand how the business works. So let's say over a couple of years, cotton prices obviously would probably correct as well. At that time, are we able to retain margin? I mean, we need to pass on something, but are we able to retain margins and sort of improve from here, or we effectively pass on everything?
You will be able to retain some part. You have to pass on. It's all about market, how it behaves, but we feel that you will be able to retain some part.
Logically, when cotton prices sort of come off, it's logical to think that this 18 to 20 band could move to 20 to 22% sort of thing. Is that a fair way to think about it?
I will not predict like that. I stick to what we have committed right now, and we will talk when the things arise. But at this point in time, I think what we are seeing, 18 to 19%, is a very good place where we are very confident about.
Sure. Thank you. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. We take the next question from the line of Dhiral Shah from Phillip Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the follow-up opportunity. Sir, on the modern trade side, what is our contribution from the e-commerce segment?
So e-commerce right now, as you know, last year we ended up at a modern trade about 31 CR, and e-commerce among that is about 60% plus. And this year we are expecting this to grow at 60-70%. And the e-commerce will contribute actually higher than last year. So we'll have more e-commerce factor because we want to get to a large format store. Our focus is there, but not into a premium stores because that work on the SOR model and we work on outright model. So we don't believe in SOR model at all. Our model is completely outright. And it is all about selling.
The margins are higher in e-commerce segment?
There is a similar to what we have in GT.
Okay, and so on the premium side, what is our marketing strategy? Are we looking at on the LFS and maybe EBO side, or are we looking at the traditional wholesale-led model?
E-commerce is there, but e-commerce still very small in percentage to what GT is. So GT continue to be a big factor there. We are working with the retailers directly a lot of places to give them tie-ups with them and all the stuff which we normally do, and also doing an in-shop campaign a lot. So that will be our focus. But going forward, the e-commerce and the EBO also will have a contribution in terms of large factor. But at this point in time, it's still very small.
So do we have an exclusive dealership for the premium side, sir?
All are exclusive only.
So what is that figure, sir, if you can share?
So premium is already, we are 130 crore and we are expecting that to grow at 25% this year.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, from my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dilip Jain, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yes. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. So our subcontracting, that is the job worker expenses, were only 13.6% of total sales in Q1 of last year. Whereas this year, the quarter that you just announced, it is 28.7% of total sales. Now, for the entire last year, the last fiscal year, the job working expenses were only 19.2% of total top line of the year. So there's a sharp rise this quarter. Now, as per our latest annual report, page 69, Aerolink Features Private Limited, which is our related party, it received 64 crores in FY 2021. The entire year, it received 64 crores for providing our company with job work services. So I feel, it's my personal opinion, such type of related party transactions with respect to job work, it does not reflect well, on the corporate governance principles of our company. Therefore, despite our super strong balance sheet and profitable growth, and you just made very good projections, we are getting a lower multiple. If you look at, say, our peer from Calcutta like Lux, we are getting a lower multiple. So, do we plan to merge these related party entities that provide job work services into our company, Rupa and Company Limited? Like, that will be more transparent. That's what I feel. Or are there any other measures that you could do to, avoid such kind of opaque transactions? I would love to hear your view on this. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Means we don't have actually. In fact, we have reduced our related party transaction quite a bit, and we are looking to reduce more and more on that. And clearly, that is the reason for the organization. Having said that, this is very, very transparent and very clear numbers. But having said that, we will be reducing that, and we've taken your point, and we will come back to you on that as you go forward to reduce that further.
Okay, so why has the job work percentage risen so much? It's 28% of sales, because we are very well managed with respect to finances. So what happened? Because last year, the same quarter, it was only 13.6%. And the entire fiscal, it is about 19.5%. So this time, it's just shooted up.
I need to come back to you on this, frankly. I don't have exact answer right now. Sumit, are you there?
So job worker expenses is basically it's a part of inventory. It's the cost of job subcontracting.
So to see overall actually the cost of raw material. So job worker is between inventory and all this go on. So I think we need to come back on this part.
Okay, so is it going to rationalize as we move forward into the quarters, or it's going to be that high? Because I feel
it will be rationalized. As I said, it is part of the inventory actually. So it is just the breakup. Sometime go here and there. But it is part of the same, it's the cost of material which you go. So, but having said that, we'll come back to you in exact time.
So a lot of this was put into this result probably. So the next result is
not really. Is
it, so the next result, is it going to be something like 19-20%? Because you have your margin calculation.
I just said I need to come back. So if you're repeating your questions, I need to come back with that data. What exactly is this? So I need to come back.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shalini Gupta from Ashika Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity again, sir. I wanted to ask you, this is what one previous participant had asked you. So we were talking about price increase or something like 7% and some 2-3% increase in sales because of the mix improvement. So about 10-12% is the increase in sales that we should have seen. But we saw 4%, and you answered that. Like, what is the reason for sales being lower than say 10-12%? Can you please repeat yourself?
I just said that the mix is also in terms of between drawers and vest, and also sometimes like the kids segment where the volume may not be higher, but the price will be higher. So this is a mix of play which will be there. So it is big mix which is going to play on the volume and value, not just the absolute number.
Okay. And so my second question, you were talking about investments in IT, and you said you've invested a lot to get some IT infrastructure in place. Could you please say how much that has been?
We invested 1.5 crore recently on the IT tool to really get this AFS system, which is one of the topmost system in terms of operation management, inventory management, forecasting. So this is the top-end SAP model, which is we are working right now, and PwC is implementing that.
And sir, my last question, which I really did not catch, which I had myself asked you, I had said that I'd asked you like the lower EBITDA margin will be driven by higher ad expenses and what else?
So there will be employee cost higher than last year. There will be ad expenses will be higher than last year, and that will be offset with the volume growth and the mix growth. So that's what I said earlier.
Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that would be the last question. I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for their closing comments.
So again, thank you for all of you to attend this. I hope we have given able to answer all queries. In case you require any further details, you may please contact Mr. Deven Dhruva from Orient Capital, our investor relations manager. Again, thank you. Look forward.
Thank you very much, members of the management. Ladies and gentlemen, with this we conclude the conference call. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.